One more filmlet in our series about soil, and honestly I think it's probably the most important. Historically, farmers have understood that soil isn't just stuff. It's actually almost part of them. Their land meant their livelihood. And for us also, it means what we eat, what our animals eat, how we survive. In the past, farmers understood that in order to grow crops year after year, they needed to have some sort of fertilizer to help the soil regenerate itself. So they used animal manures, or they used any other type of organic matters like ashes. They used composted plant material, river sediment. Sometimes they'd use bird dung, guano, brought from Africa or South America. Native Americans put fish in the holes where they were planting corn. There was also the practice of green manure, so growing something like vetch or lupins or rye, allowing that to grow up to a big green mass of vegetation, and then cutting and plowing that under and allowing those residues to decompose and to feed the soil organisms. So they understood some of these things. They also sometimes would leave land fallow for a year and just allow it to recuperate, to rest. Sometimes farmers would clear a new piece of land that had been under timber, and that virgin soil had more fertility in it than the piece of land that had been continuously cropped, because that land was exhausted, had given up all its nutrients. Because it was known that the soil that was soft and broken up produced better, farmers tilled the soil, they plowed, they broke up the clods of dirt. Today, we're still trying to understand exactly how the soil works, how to maintain optimum crop quality and production so that we can farm for generations to come. As you think back to the concepts that you've learned in these videos, what can you use in those to apply to your ground? You remember that as minerals are broken down and as organic matter is decomposed, the byproduct of that microbial decomposition is some sticky organic substances that help to bind the minerals together. That creates soil structure. So that mortar, those organic glues, they naturally bind the soil particles together. And then as worms tunnel through the earth and plant roots grow and then die off, they leave behind spaces through the walls of our mineral particles and sticky organic glues. And so this creates a natural honeycomb, or like a spongy structure. It allows for air and water movement, as well as spaces for the growth of microorganisms and insect nests. God made nature to take care of herself. I mean, look at the forests, the wild spaces, even just land that's left to itself. It grows pretty well. God made nature to take care of herself. Plowing, tilling year after year does soften the soil. It breaks up clumps, it allows roots to penetrate. But after the crop is planted and rain starts to come, that soil begins to settle and actually eventually becomes compacted as rain sort of sifts the particles down into the soil again. And in the worst case scenario, you have a fine soil and a heavy rain, you can lose soil due to erosion. Now, although tillage does help to incorporate the old crop residues and to break up weeds, it actually cuts right through our natural soil structure and collapses those walls and those spaces that our insects and plant roots have created. So there's been a type of tillage developed no-till or conservation till, where we can actually cut just a slice in the top of the soil and set our seed in there, and without really disturbing the natural soil structure. Remember that organic matter feeds our soil microorganisms, and as they break the organic matter down, that recycles nutrients back into the soil in forms that plants can absorb. However, organic matter also affects the soil characteristics. So, for instance, as the organic matter is broken down, it holds water like a sponge. It can provide water to a crop in a time of drought, compared to a soil that has low organic matter would dry up more quickly. Organic matter also has more sites on it. It's very complex molecules, so it has more binding sites for those cations like magnesium and ammonium and calcium, and so it can serve as a reservoir of those nutrients, just holding them for when the plant needs them. Thirdly, as it is decomposed, it contributes to a granular soil structure, like small bits of soil that hold together well instead of the soil sort of clotting up like a big block. So that's why it's so important to have a good amount of organic matter, to be adding it back into our soils. Even if we have no-till or something, organic matter is sort of what feeds our soil, feeds our bugs, and in turn feeds our plants. Take what you have learned and start thinking about how to apply it practically. I mean, synthetic fertilizers are great, and we use them in places where we can't apply a manure, but they're really no replacement for organic matter. Tillage, it helps to soften the soil, helps us to solve some problems, but it might not be the best long-term solution, right? So focus on the health of your soil, how you can build it, how you can make it more fertile, more friendly place for more microorganisms. That will make you a better farmer. Take care of your soil, and it'll take care of you.